Hey everybody, and welcome back to Superman Crypto. Your host Superman in the house. Man, oh man, I've been busy on Pulse Chain a lot, so only been doing videos every couple of days lately. But let's get into the Xen protocol update. So don't forget to subscribe and smash the like on the way in. Let's get into it. So here is the Xen price on Ethereum. You guys know I mostly cover Ethereum, although sometimes I cover some of the other chains depending on the project that's launching. And here we are. The price has got 501781. So the price is really broken down. Despite having those two big launches. Let's add the overlays and we can have a see where we're at there. So obviously we had the Phoenix launch back here on the 13th of May. Then we had the Xen Dodge launch on the 20th of May. So they did launch on time, both of them. The Xen Dodge obviously had the super big burn the first day, and we can see the price there got as high as 3,000, but didn't manage to hold up that, and the burning just fell off. It didn't fall off, but it's just so much lower than the first day, which was over $1 trillion, right? And almost 1.1 trillion, which was absolutely, history breaking, but unfortunately couldn't keep up, even a decent amount like 100 billion a day. We're going to check that out though. And the price down now at 1781. We also got through those two big twin candles, if you remember, between these two dates. There were two big twin candles coming out. I think it was the 15th of May and about the 18th and 19th of May. We had those big twin candles over 330 billion, Phoenix coming out in addition to the other supply that was already building up. So that's kind of the approach there. Looking at the Fibonacci, you can see here this big square box. We're really broken down, way down below 78.6, and of course now we're just trying to find the bottom. Where is the bottom going to be? So at the moment we're down 6% for the 24 hours, which is not too bad on a 24-hour basis, but we're still sliding downwards, and just trying to find that bottom at the moment. 480,000 buy versus 461 sell. We've got slightly more there, 51. Liquidity sitting at 1.2 million. So that's come down dramatically as well. But hey, a lot of markets are down. Bitcoin's down, and even a lot of popular tokens are down. So there is a down sentiment overall in the market at the moment. Let's have a look at the weekly chart and have a quick look at that. We can see this is the weekly chart there. You can see our Fibonacci, our big rise, and so on. So we definitely need a lot more burning, and obviously a lot more uplift in the protocol. Now, obviously, we've got the Xen NFTs, we've got DB Xen Burn, we've got Phoenix and Dodge. Those are the big four protocols, and we have a few smaller ones like Zenlon and things like that. Now, in terms of future minting burns, of course, we're looking forward to Zenmon or whatever coming up. So we will have future Xen burns as well. So we'll get up to that with the gasless burns. Let's jump over to Dex Screen, have a quick look at some of the leaders here. Obviously, Xen USD Tether there is up a little bit. 1782, but DXN is pretty much down 2% at the moment, sitting at $12 for DXN on Ethereum. So it's pretty crazy. Let's have a quick look at that. Obviously, this is the big passive income protocol, but that is definitely down dramatically as well. Looks like it has leveled out here, bounced off $10 pretty much a couple of days in a row. So that kind of looks like it's leveled off, but like this leveling here, leveled off here. So we'll have to wait and see where that goes to. Gwei has come down dramatically. Obviously, Pulse Change probably being a big player helping with that. And also the big meme coins are over as well. So that is a DXN there. What else? We got Phoenix there on Ethereum. So a quick look at that. Small liquidity in these pools. Remember, this is the thing I did tell you guys about, small liquidities. And you got to remember that Xen is kind of like a gigantic DGN protocol. So we've never seen quite the likes of it before. So obviously, we get lots of DGN behavior in it. 21K in liquidity there on the ETH chain. Not many trades here on the Phoenix. That is the Phoenix one. And I don't know if I actually may not have the other one up there, actually. I just realized I didn't have that up. Let's have a look at Xlon. Xlon here is down 47%, but look at the volatility is huge, and there's only $760 in liquidity in here. That seems to be dramatically down. So, hardly anybody can do anything with that. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, obviously, you burn DXN to get Xlon, and that's just the way it goes at the moment. Let's jump over to the Gwei. The Gwei over the last 7 days has been come down dramatically, probably with Pulse Chain and the meme coin, Pepe over and all that sort of stuff. And we're down actually pretty much near the low end at the moment as we speak, around the mid to, pretty much around the mid Gweis there, 25 to 27, which is pretty good. So obviously you can mint out a lot more Xen in the future and, of course, play out the roadmap of Xen. Let's jump over to the total supply of Xen. 10.154 trillion. This looks similar to about 3 days ago when I live streamed, but the Xen staking has gone up dramatically to 1.94, almost 2 trillion, I should say. So I guess when people, when the prices aren't doing too much, people are going to stake more and wait for later on, right? It's kind of probably what's happening there. So let's have a look at the overall burning. We've had 3.6 billion burned through DBZen, 1.5 billion burned through the Xen NFTs. This number's hardly moved. Xen Dodge, big game, first 2 hours, almost 1.1 trillion, but hardly even moved since then. The first incentives have gone down. So it's going to be interesting to see what that's like when people go to get that. Phoenix there at 200 billion. And of course, that's underperformed the old Phoenix there, but it's still sitting at 200 billion at the moment. So it's a big, decent burn for Xen overall. And then other is at 83.7 billion. You can see obviously the big Xen Dodge launch there is back on the 1 trillion and 46 billion. So we've only added about 50 billion in the last 5-6 days since that time. And the burns have been pretty low each day. Look at that. Burns each day. So we had 6.4 billion the day after that, and how much? Just slightly more. Sorry, this has only got a total amount of burns each day. So definitely they've dropped off. Where's the marginal burn there? Yeah. Okay, so the burn on the 21st was 78.4. That's a good day. So that was a good day. But every other day since has been small. 20 billion, 25 billion. 26 billion on the 24th, and then finally at the moment we're currently running at 8.5 billion. We need better than that. We need at least minimum 75 billion and probably 100 billion now, just the way it goes. So we can eat through the supply and get back down to that sort of sweet spot around about 8 billion or so to get that price moving is my guess there. So pretty cool. Let us jump in down to Gwei, 29 Gwei at the moment. Only one person minting at the moment, pretty unusual. People were minting up at the 100 Gwei at some stage. So it's really fallen off there. The cost per mint has come down dramatically, about $4.50. We got as high as about, $16 up here, but we got down $4 at the moment. Not far off our low minting period back here in November. And of course, that's when it was super cheap. We were down here about $2. So not far from that, only 2x on that one. We can see that we've still not had these negative days. We want these sort of days, right? Negative supply. We've had slight increases in the day, except for the 24th, we had a negative of 27, which is good because we've had low mints at the moment. Some of the positive news there, 53.4% is in liquid supply, but of course we wanted to go down and down and down. We needed that to go down below 50%, but that's pretty dramatic. We were up at 60% almost. We're back down 53, so that's kind of a positive there, but that's not going to help with the price at the moment because the total supply is increasing still. So let's have a look at the future mints over the next 30 days. We can see that we've actually got relatively low mints. We've got a couple of these big candles though, 132 billion coming out on the 28th. And then we've got this big candle here, 167 billion coming out on the 5th of June. Other than that, it's, we've got quite a few low days, 52 billion coming up there. Tomorrow is 44, which is really low. We like those sort of days. And we've got plenty of those later on in the month. I think the lowest one here, look at that one here on the 25th of June. That's 37 billion. So that's the sort of things we want. But of course, we want to be burning, 75 billion a day or something. We want to get a big burn, and that's just not happening. So we'll have to wait and see what the market will do in the future. So that's pretty much it at the moment on there. Let's have a look at the total mints overall, and we'll have a quick look here. Now, obviously, some people were upset about Jack focusing on Bitcoin and BRC tokens, and a lot of people participated in that big time. You can decide on that. But of course, he's looking at integrating all that later on. So it's more of a technology play, and that takes time to execute. So it's something for later on. So you're going to have to. We're just taking a bit of a hit before we have a bit of a better move on there as well. So there's a few criticisms around that. Also criticisms obviously around the gas burn. And of course, that's capital that could otherwise gone into token projects. So, Zen's not free of a criticism. And that is where it is at the moment. So we're up at 12 and a half, almost 12.5 million global ranks. The last 24 hours, 18,263 at the moment. And we've got 139 days cost coverage at the current Gwei of 31. So that is where we are there. Let's jump over to DBZen here and have a look at some of the protocols. There's so much information here on zen.pub. So big shout out to Joseph, who's the developer for this. Look at the information on everything you can possibly have. Definitely use this for information, making decisions. Very cool on that. So let's go to where we're going to here. We're going to go to DBZen, I think so. Let's go to DBZen and have a look at the auctions. Obviously, one of the big burners, if not the biggest one at the moment. let us see where we're at the moment. So low Gwei should be good, right? So here we are. We haven't really had the second moon here. A lot of times you see these big mountains of burn, and we've only had this little sort of easing here where we get a second rally. We are on day, what day are we on? We're on day 64 of Xen, DB Xen. So let's see if we get one a bit later, maybe. Maybe it's going to be the third month, later in the third month that we get that burn. We've definitely got the low Gwei. If that was going to happen, we thought it would happen now. You know, people here at current cycle 25 Gwei, pretty low, 30 Gwei at the top end, and of course you see that the rewards are getting in. So what's this? 10,000 plus 10,000 is about 21,500, and the reward at the moment is 46,000. So it's about 2x there, and of course the market would probably come in and try and close that down. At the moment, we've got 13.7 billion in today's cycle, 26 people participating so far, and the amount available is 8,817. As you guys know, it's going down by 0.2% a day. So that's slowly going down there. Remember, it used to be up at 10,000. Now it's only 8,800. So the pool gets less as well. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's have a look at the claimants on that just quickly. People claiming, you know, it's sitting pretty similar. The claiming amounts around this 9,000 DXN, and of course you got the daily DXN rewards there as well. Just have a look at some of these. Participants are much lower. Look at that. Participants are really low, down 40, 25, 26. So definitely low. We're all the way up here at about 300-400. So that's definitely impacted as well. So some interesting numbers here for sure. And I think that's it. So the all-time highs at the moment, these are people dominating the pool. So we've got 4 people that burned over 100 billion, Xen in the protocol. So it goes figures, you know, and they're earning those nice fees every day, I guess. That's just the way it goes. All right, $12 though, getting pretty cheap. Looks like it's at a bit of a discount as well. Let's go to anywhere else. We're going to look at one more. We're going to look at Phoenix. Phoenix on Ethereum. Let's have a quick look at Phoenix on Ethereum. And where are we up to at the moment? Only 102 million burned today in the last 24 hours. Price is pretty small. Liquidity pretty small. Where was our chart that we wanted to look at? Here, yeah, the burn chart pretty low. Look at that after the first day. So pretty low burns going on there. And you know, only what's that? 40 million, is it? 40 million, something like that. So pretty low burns going on through the day. We're at 102 million today. And I think that's about it on that one. 5 people minted so far today, only 709 overall. So that is kind of that one. Let's jump over to Xen Dodge. And of course, this is the latest big protocol, which had the big 1.1 trillion burned. But so far, only 215 million burned so far. 6 people entered. Total of 2,200 have entered it though. And we're still sitting just under 1.1 trillion burn. Total supply of Xen Dodge, 14 billion is the total number there. So let's have a look. Just looking at this one, next bonus level is 444. So we're still in the 666% bonus, which is pretty good. That's the third level. So still in there at the moment. But liquidity, 58K. And the price there, 7,922 on the Xen Dodge. So you can see the price chart there. What else are we going to say about that? Xen Burn, pretty low. The big day at the beginning, and very low after that. And daily participants are obviously down from 2,000 all the way down to about 15 yesterday. And 24th had 4 people. So, you know, not great signs that you want to have a lot of activity. That's not happening. Let's jump over to the total amount on Pulse Chain. Obviously, Pulse Chain launched 5,073,000 Pulse global ranks have been minted so far, with the liquid supply of 65 billion is in play. Now, obviously, that's going to have a lot of ecosystem dApps like all these other protocols launch on Pulse Chain. I expect that soon too. So it's going to be an opportunity for people to follow up. Let's have a quick look at Jack. Jack's been at this Bitcoin conference in Miami, not been too much on Twitter. There's obviously provide this OG Xen claims. Remember the old contract that got copied over to Pulse Chain you can actually claim on that now to basically burn, I think, on the X1 chain and get the XN credit. Obviously, the new contract on Pulse Chain got launched, and that's the one we just looked at here. This one here is the new one. And of course, you can see that is taking priority. But to his credit, he's allowed OG Xen claims on the old contract to be available on the OG.Xen network there. So you can check that out. What else has he done? He's been pretty quiet. Obviously, he's been over at the conference. One of the big things he's got here, 23rd, we are working on a taproot source recipe using Vamp Tech. More on it soon. So that's one of the technology parts he's doing for Xen Bitcoin, I guess, and we'll be watching that over time. I think that's pretty much it on there. He's had a lot of updates around a lot of different things, but we're going to get into Zenzu. Zenzu here talking about the big burn, obviously coming in number second. CoinGecko says Zen Crypto burned a total of 4,738 ETH there, and represented a 987% month-to-month growth. And of course, that's been a little controversial with the amount of ETH burned, but of course, people choose to participate, right? And of course, Zenzu, they're saying full focus on building. So obviously, Zenzu and Jack and that are all trying to build, and that's just it's just part of the degen nature of the protocol is to burn and pay fees for that, and of course, hopefully get implied value in the X1 chain eventually. Everyone gets XN credits for their burning and all these protocols. So that's kind of the end of the road mile there. Now, whether that does value up all that burning is going to be, an empirical question. We'll see what happens there. So that's from Senzu. Then jumping over to Razvan, of course, with the DBZen, talking about some cool numbers around DBZen. At DBZen, you can get daily trustless ETH yield for burning Zen. Obviously, that number of users on there is much lower at the moment, but definitely in the play. We've had a lot of YouTube influencers talking about that, excited. There's more of that Zen leaderboard. You can see Zen dominating. Look at that. Zen there in blue, dominating in January, and still doing pretty well most months there and weeks or whatever. So that's pretty neat. What else? I think that's it. Crypto Bra said 5 hours ago, I've been making a killing on DBZen, on ETH and AVAX, that I decided to share the wealth and teach. So it's nice to see some people doing well there. And of course, Joseph there of DBZen has added more dashboards today. Requested for Zen Dodge. He's added average mint price on Zen Dodge, and of course total denoted value. Of course, we saw that on the dashboard there earlier. The other thing that he's just done over the last 10 hours, it's been a busy day with a little free time, but better late than never. After a 4-day wait, the Phoenix stats for Binance are out on the Zen Pub as well, so you can take a look at that one too, which is pretty cool. You can see the dashboard there, and he's added that stuff in, so that if you're on Binance, you can check that out. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Let me know your comments and thoughts in the chat there. If you have any feedback from Jack, of course, around anything, leave it on Twitter and let him know, right? So he is the founder, or Senzu. You can leave comments for them and let them know. All right, take care, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Catch you next one. Bye.